Picture this. I'm standing in my new kitchen, coffee in hand, staring out at my 3-acre slice of heaven in Meadowview, Ohio, when the ground starts shaking like a freight train's coming through. Outside, a bulldozer's tearing up my trees, and a crew's pouring concrete like they're building a mall on my land. Before I can even process, I'm face to face with Diane Kessler, the Meadowview HOA president, who's acting like she owns my property and has the nerve to tell me it's for a community playground. That was the moment I knew I wasn't just fighting for my land. I was up against a suburban tyrant who thought she could steamroll anyone in her way. Stick around, because this story's wilder than a Midwest storm, and it ends with a courtroom showdown that'll make your jaw drop. Let me back up. I'm Lucas Bennett, 42. A retired real estate lawyer who hung up my suit after 20 years of cutthroat deals, dreaming of a quiet life in Meadowview, a tidy little suburb with perfect lawns and picket fences. I bought this plot a month ago, a cozy ranch house, enough space for a woodworking shop I've always wanted, a place to slow down and breathe. The land's mine, deed and all, and I'm settling in. Still unpacking boxes when I hear that bulldozer. I throw on a jacket, march outside, and find this foreman, a big guy named Joe, grinning like it's just another Tuesday. HOA's building a playground and trail, he says, pointing to my eastern fence line. Gonna be real nice for the kids. I'm like, hold up, this is my property. Joe just shrugs. Talk to the HOA. I go where they point. That afternoon, I'm at Diane's HOA office, a decked-out shed behind her McMansion, stuffed with violation notices and newsletters like she's running a small dictatorship. Diane's what you'd expect. Late 50s, hair sprayed into submission, a smile that's all teeth and no soul. Mr. Bennett, she says, not even looking up from her laptop, I figured you'd show up. Her voice is pure corporate ice, like she's already won. There's a playground going up on my land, I say, keeping it cool. It needs to stop, now. She leans back, smirking, and goes, Lucas. The Meadowview HOA has authority to improve common areas for the greater good. Your land's part of our plan. You should have read the bylaws before signing. I'm stunned. Greater good doesn't trump my deed. I shoot back. I own that land, and you've got no right to touch it. Diane waves me off like I'm a kid whining about bedtime. Our lawyer says we're golden. If you don't like it, hire your own. But good luck fighting the HOA. We've been here 25 years, and we don't lose. I leave, fuming, but Diane's not done. The next week, my mailbox is stuffed with violation notices. My grass is too long by half an inch. My trash can sat out excessively for an hour. My mailbox is non-compliant eggshell white instead of pure ivory. Each one's got a $30 fine. Diane's signature in blue ink, like a personal taunt. It's clear she's trying to bury me in paperwork, scare me into backing down. What she doesn't know is I spent 2 decades untangling property disputes for a living, and I'm not the guy you bluff. I call up Sarah Gwen, a land surveyor I worked with back in the day, who's got a rep for being sharper than attack. Her report lands a week later, and it's crystal clear. The HOA's playground and trail are 15 feet onto my land. No easement, no right-of-way, nothing. They're trespassing, plain and simple. Armed with Sarah's survey, I head back to Diane's shed, slamming the deed, report, and a certified letter on her desk. You've got 10 days to tear it down, Diane, or I'm suing, I say, calm but dead serious. Her face twitches, but she shoves the papers back. Lucas, you're new here, so I'll spell it out, she snaps, standing up like she's giving a TED Talk. This HOA runs Meadowview. That playground's for families, kids. Community pride. You want to play hardball? We've got the best lawyers, and you'll lose everything. Her voice is loud now, almost shaking, like I've hit something deeper than her ego. 10 days. I repeat, walking out, her glare burning a hole in my back. You'll regret this, she yells as the door shuts. 10 days pass, and the playground's still there, slides, swings, even solar lights twinkling like Diane's mocking me. I call her office, get her assistant, Jenny, who stammers. Ms. Kessler's unavailable, but I leave the message. Deadline's up. See you in court. Then I ring my old law school buddy, Rachel Torres, a property lawyer who eats HOA overreach for breakfast. We file a lawsuit, trespass, conversion, property rights violation, damages TBD. It's David versus Goliath, except this David knows the slingshot's loaded. The HOA's lawyer, Carl Donovan, a slick type with a Rolex and zero chill, files a motion to dismiss, claiming their community mandate trumps my rights. He calls my suit frivolous, says I'm a selfish loner blocking kids' happiness. Judge Ellen Carter shuts it down in a heartbeat, writing, "Property rights aren't suggestions, Mr. Donovan." Case moves forward. Discoveries where things get juicy. Rachel's team digs up HOA minutes showing Diane picked my land to dodge buying a new lot, saying, residents need to sacrifice for progress. Board member Tom Larson raised red flags about building on private land, but Diane steamrolled him, saying, we don't waste time on technicalities. In depositions, Diane's a mess, 6 hours of dodging questions, admitting she never checked the survey, just assumed my land was theirs. When Rachel asks, did you know you needed permission to build on private property? Diane sputters, it was for the community. Carl, their lawyer, admits he didn't check boundaries, just took Diane's word. Tom spills that Diane told him, homeowners who don't play ball don't belong here. It's a goldmine of arrogance and negligence. Then the HOA's insurance company drops a hammer. They investigate, find Diane's actions were intentional and unlawful, and deny coverage. No insurance means no safety net. Diane calls a meeting, proposes a $4.500 special assessment per homeowner to fund the defense. The room's a riot. Folks like Maria Gomez, a single mom, yelling about losing their savings. 3 board members quit on the spot, scared of personal liability. Diane's alone now, her allies bailing, but she's still clinging to power like it's her last breath. The neighborhood's turning. People who bought Diane's community-first spiel are waking up, whispering about her obsession, her need to control every blade of grass. The trial kicks off on a freezing November morning, and I'm nervous, even with our airtight case. Rachel warned me HOAs can sway juries with sob stories about kids and parks. But Judge Carter's a stickler for facts. Rachel's opening is razor-sharp, projecting Sarah's survey on a big screen. This isn't about playgrounds or community, she says, pointing to the red line cutting through my land. It's about theft, building on land you don't own, without asking. That's not progress. It's illegal. Carl tries to spin me as the bad guy, saying the playground serves dozens of families, and I'm hurting children by fighting it. The jury's not buying it. Property lines don't bend for feelings, and Sarah's survey is ironclad. Over 3 days, Rachel lays it out. My deed, the survey, construction records, Tom's testimony, even an appraiser saying the 15-foot strip cost me $180,000 in land value, plus $40,000 to fix the damage. Sarah walks the jury through her survey, precise as a surgeon. Carl's defense falls apart. He claims the encroachment's minor, and I'm unharmed. But Rachel's experts shut that down. Diane takes the stand last, and it's a train wreck. She's defensive, snapping at Rachel, saying surveys are a waste of money for obvious community projects. Rachel stays cool. Ms. Kessler, did you know building on private land without permission is illegal? Diane's face goes red, and she hisses, we had legal advice. Lucas is just selfish. Rachel pulls up Carl's deposition, where he admits he never checked the deed. The jury's faces say it all. Diane's cooked. Judge Carter's verdict hits like thunder. In Henderson versus Meadowview HOA, I find for the plaintiff, he says, gavel cracking. The defendant will pay $4.2 million, $220,000 for damages, for $1 million punitive to deter future overreach, plus fees and costs. The courtroom gasps. Diane grips the table, white as a sheet, as Carl mutters about appeals. The HOA's got $38,000 in the bank, chump change. They're done. Within hours, their accounts are frozen. Diane calls an emergency meeting, but only 2 board members show. They vote to dissolve the HOA and file bankruptcy. Diane's the lone, no, still dreaming of a comeback. The playground's torn down, sold for pennies at auction. Diane's house hits the market a month later, her perfect lawn now a for-sale sign graveyard. For Diane, it's worse. As president, she signed contracts that make her personally liable for some debts. Her homeowner's insurance bails, and she's staring at personal bankruptcy. Her real estate gig? Toast. Her firm drops her after clients ditch a land-grabbing agent. At the final HOA meeting, she tries a comeback speech about rebuilding together, but the room's near empty. Maria stands up, furious. You cost us $12,000 each, Diane. My kid's college fund's gone because you stole his land. Tom Larson, ex-board member, reads the motion to oust her, voice cold. You ignored us, Diane. You broke us. Residents walk out, leaving Diane whispering, I did this for you, to nobody. 3 months later, she's gone, her house sold, her name poisoned in Meadowview. I get $190. 000 from the bankruptcy, less than the judgment, but enough to fix my land and start that shop. Meadowview's freer now, no HOA, just neighbors figuring it out. Maria brings me a casserole, says, I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. Tom nods at me in the grocery store, a quiet respect. I'm out front one day, hammering shop framing. When I think about how a playground dispute snowballed into an HOA's end, Diane bet I'd fold. Didn't count on a retired lawyer with a grudge against bullies. But then I find a letter in my mailbox, no sender, postmarked Cleveland. Mr. Bennett, your win's got attention. We're developers with a fair offer for your land, community-focused. But others aren't so friendly. Watch your back. I pause, hammer in hand, looking at my land, my home, my fight. Diane was one battle. Something bigger's coming. So, where did Diane mess up? Thinking she could bully a lawyer? Ignoring the survey? Or believing her HOA crown made her untouchable? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your own HOA nightmares. And let's talk about what happens when power runs wild. Hit that like button if you're here for justice. Subscribe for more stories where truth wins, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for listening.